Hey guys, Editing and Omni here. Real quick, I want to let you guys know before we get into the main video is that during the recording of this week's Rings of Power, there was a little bit of a hiccup. Not exactly sure what happened, but for whatever reason, my main mic didn't record at all. So I did my best to salvage the audio from the onboard mic on my camera, which already isn't great to begin with. So I do apologize for that, but that was the best course of action. I cleaned it up as best I could. So bear with me, and hopefully next week we won't be running into this issue. Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 6 of season 2 of the Rings of Power. If you want to see the full length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you come here on the channel, could you access as well. It is a watch along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes for actually the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote what movies to react to each month. It's just a great way to support the channel, help us do a lot of the things we do over here. But of course, at the end of the day, I really appreciate if you enjoy this reaction. To least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Huge shout out to the team over at Prepper for helping me edit down these highlights for you guys here on YouTube. And with that all said and out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 6. Where is he? Here we go. Perception check, success.
Anything's better than dying out Addai or chase a ghost.
Oh! Fail right there. Oh, got him though. The fact that he snuck on him that easily was kind of crazy. Didn't matter in the end.
Why do you still defy me?
You who live not, breathe not, possess not mind, nor will.
Pride is woven in your inmost self, that you resist my hand.
Oh, wow.
The dwarves have been tardy with their delivery.
So chase them down.
We have tried, my lord. All our dispatches go unanswered.
Must I do everything myself?
We are laboring as hard as we can.
He's unraveling even more.
Some of us have noticed you seem especially ill-tempered of late, my lord.
He's like, me?
What is your name again, Smith?
You don't remember?
Of course I remember.
Wait, what?
Just
He...
give me a moment.
Lord Celebrimbor.
Give me a moment, I said!
Oh.
Everyone take a respite.
Wow. That's not a good sign.
She's called Mirdania.
Oh, it came
Cannot
to
be
him.
expected to remember everything.
He should remember them.
Earlier, I could have sworn I left my creasing hammer just here. And
You mean that hammer?
Oh, you son of a bitch. What are you doing? What are you doing to this poor man? Like, what the fuck? You bastard.
my mind must be going.
Or you were going so deep into it, coming out again has become an incredible burden.
Well, who sent him there?
I imagine at times you must be tempted simply to stay there a while, gain some clarity. Your people demand an audience. You are the Lord of Eärien. You have responsibilities.
Yes, and my greatest responsibility is to the rings until the 9 are complete.
As you wish.
Oh, there is something more. The dwarves are late with our mithril. Could you see to it?
At once.
God, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get a little sad when this storyline's over, because I do, as frustrating as it is to watch, because it's so fucked up. It's some of my favorite bits to observe, to witness.
He asks that I handle all matters of administration in his stead.
Oh my God.
We sent a search party across the river to see if there was an obstruction upon the road, but only one soldier returned.
Where is he?
Oh, whoa.
Show this to no one.
Damn.
Shall I inform Lord Celebrimbor?
No.
What now? Because this is part of the plan, kinda.
Was it that business about him forgetting my name?
He's not himself, Mirdania. For now, all we can do is leave him in solitude. Give him time and pray. Pray that he finishes this work before it finishes him.
God, he's so good at this. So fucked up to observe.
Can I trust you to make sure the others respect his wishes as well?
Of course, my lord.
Wow. Funny though, and I'm sure it's somehow part of the plan still, but the fact that his manipulation of Adar and his hordes, and they're the reason the roads are all jacked up right now, but now that's impeding their mithril flow. I'm just wondering how those two are going to correlate. See, that little twitch, that little smirk he's hiding right there. Like, this is what he wants, but it's also impeding what he wants? This is one of those plays where I'm just like, I can't see what's going on here. We need that mithril to make the rings.
I can help you destroy Sauron.
What help could you possibly provide, Orc?
Uruk.
Oh.
Morgoth's crown. I was told.
There are many stories of what happened after the Silmarils were pried from its settings. But I was there when Sauron refired it to fit himself. And I was the one who used its power to slay him.
Why did he return?
Because I had not yet found you.
What part am I to play in this?
The hell?
Together, this crown and your rings would be powerful enough to truly destroy Sauron forever. And I suspect you know for certain. Halbrand is Sauron.
Oh, he figured it out.
The fate of that city now rests on your ability to put aside your pride. I suggest you find the will to do so, if you can.
Well, that was an interesting scene. But again, whether they know or not, whether he knows or not, whatever, it's all part of the plan.
Incitement of a violent conflagration that led to loss of life. And last, but most odious, crime of high treason.
Oh, fuck you.
Hideous breaches of law warrant a sentence of death. However, given his many years of faithful service to our kingdom, it is the judgment of this court that the accused be set free.
In exile.
Set free, provided he renounces his crime.
Oh, Jesus.
Elendil, son of Amandil, do you renounce your crimes?
I do.
Wow.
And do you accept our Pharazôn as Númenor's true king?
I do not. For Númenor's true ruler is now, and to the end of her days, Miriel, daughter of Tar-Palantir, and the only traitor here is you.
Wow. Oh, thought we were about to have a Ned Stark moment. We kind of had a half and half there, though. Like,
perhaps we should let the Valar decide his fate. If the faithful wish to live by the old traditions, they ought to die by them as well.
Why not? Let's go.
Snoring? Who's snoring? How do I learn to master its power? To fight back against the darkness?
What does a secret fire need with you as a master?
But if I cannot master it, how am I to use it?
Mm-hmm.
Every trial that you've met thus far, you have failed. Failed a trial before you now, and there will not be another.
Tell me what I must do.
Follow old Tom.
Why is it exactly they call you nobody?
My folks aren't the most decisive. Took them a long time to settle on a name.
Well, how long?
1 or 2 years.
Oh, that's not so long.
Oh, 1 or 2 years ago.
Oh, wait. Well, there we go.
Do you have lizard for supper?
Why do you ask?
Dark Wizard found his staff, and now the time has come for you to find yours.
Staff Day! Maybe.
Which one is it?
You'll find your true staff.
One can spend months searching out there.
All the time you need, unless there is somewhere else you wish to be.
I saw her. Nori. Unless I find her soon, she will die. Both of them will.
Oh my god, are we gonna have a, a Luke and Yoda moment here? Is he gonna succumb to the visions and abandon his training?
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril. Will you abandon them to their doom?
She is my friend.
Your friend or your destiny?
Yes!
The choice is yours.
Shit. Fuck. Oh. Whoa. He just Batmaned his ass. I think Nori would understand, like, if he did stay here, but I just don't know if he's gonna make that choice. But this could be one of those trick questions where saving a friend is how he passes the test. It proves he's different than the Dark Wizard, than Sauron, than everybody else. But at the same time, though, like he did say, he's like, hey, these people are rising in power. People of Middle-earth are gonna fall to their feet. So it could be also a balance of the greater good over one's desires. So there's really two different ways to look at it.
He summoned me, Father.
God, look at all this treasure he's been hoarding.
I see the Seven are serving you.
God damn it.
Without Mithril, the remaining rings of power may never be complete. How much shall I offer you?
There is nothing. How much of what?
I understand you are expanding your mining operation. We can provide a steady supply of timber to help build platforms, mine shafts, or perhaps Khazad-dûm would prefer something more precious.
What are you putting on the table?
You'd be wise to discuss this first in private.
There's nothing to discuss. I've already decided.
Damn.
The answer is no. Please give my regrets to Lord Celebrimbor.
He got what he wanted, and he is done. Oh.
King Durin. Prince. Farewell.
That was a Balrog head. He's fine. He's fine with this.
I have never been of sounder mind, but do not worry, my son. They'll be back.
Back.
You heard him. War is coming to Middle-earth. And the army that bears the weapons and armor of Mithril is all but invincible. We can name our price.
Wow. God damn. This greed is off the charts.
Take off the ring.
I will not. It is mine. Belongs to me.
No, you belong to it. If it is otherwise, please prove it. Take it off.
I have nothing to prove to you, boy.
Yeah, I figured as much. But the fact that he did this as a bargaining tactic with Sauron is kind of funny. Wow, just laid his ass out. All right, time to face the Kraken or whatever the fuck is going on over here.
You are to be cast into the sea to face trial by Abyss. They are summoning the sea worm as we speak. I have spoken with Pharazôn. He does not wish to further antagonize the faithful.
Are you sure about that? Let's destroy some more temples while we're at it.
It is hardly mercy to ask a man to set his integrity aflame.
After everything this family has lost, I cannot lose you two.
Well, look what you did.
Please, swallow your pride.
If after all this, all you see is pride.
That's not what this is.
Then there are no words left for us to speak.
Dude, I can't wait to see her face. I mean, even if she, who knows? Maybe she'll never learn the truth about Isildur.
King said you'd say that. Said your hatred for him had become hatred for me, and forever shut your ears to my voice.
Oh my god, you dumbass.
I knelt before him, and I begged my tongue to the dust for the chance to go to her.
She's unbearable.
If Numenor is to endure, it needs men like you. Men who will champion all that is precious, men of faith.
Faith is not faith if it is not lived. And in my heart, I cannot deny that knowledge. Were I to do so, I would cease to be the man you wish to save.
What if you're wrong?
Then I would rather die with a heart that is whole than live with one broken by cowardice.
Damn.
What of my heart?
If it is the will of the Valar that my life be spared, then it will be.
What if it isn't?
Then it isn't.
The sea is always right.
The sea is always right.
Dita?
I just imagine her whipping out a lightsaber for no reason. It's treason, then.
We're here on orders from the king, so please move. Otherwise, I've no choice but to see you moved. Is that meant to frighten us off?
No. They are.
Whoa! Hell yeah!
I love you.
They'll be back, and there'll be more of them.
Then we'll be ready.
We got battle coming to Eärien. We have a civil war within Khazad-dûm. We have this happening in Numenor. Everybody's dealing with their own conflict, like all over Middle-earth in one way, shape, or form.
Do you forsake all earthly authority and accept the judgment of the Valar?
I accept their judgment.
Throw him in!
Given that his crime was committed in my name, I have the right to face the Valar's judgment in his place.
Oh, no matter how this goes, we'll never know what was meant for him in there.
You cannot.
We are to walk the path of the faithful. It must be me who takes.
Oh my God, and if this goes south, if she's not important enough to stick around, and it's his words that spurred her on. But if this goes in their favor, that'd be a huge kick in the shins to Pharazôn. Well, that was a beautiful little spot, man. Skojira! Oh, there's a shaft that connects. Oh, that sucks. Joke's on you. She can't see. Intimidation tactic failed. Oh, whoa. Oh. That is gnarly. She's gonna come back up.
The Valar have deemed her.
Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck? You can't just call it on your own time. See, look, little bitch.
Innocent.
There we go. He got to amend his statement. Actually, we didn't get to finish the statement, so. Let's go. The eagle is here for you, you sniveling little bitch. Wasn't here for him. Look at this fucking hypocrite. Oh.
Yes.
God, I want to.
He's in Eärien to craft rings that will allow him to dominate my kind and yours.
I hope some fate befalls him and his son that is just a little bit worse than the entire city plunging into the ocean.
You and I will eradicate all trace of Sauron from this world.
And what then?
Any rings that have known his touch must be destroyed.
I meant, what then for the Uruk? Will your High King permit us to return home in peace? Or will he proceed with his plans to invade Mordor? The Shadow has not only overcome you, it has overcome all Elvendom. In the end, your drive to prove your virtue will work right into Sauron's designs.
You speak lies, hoping I will reveal something.
You have already revealed everything. I hoped you would.
All of Eärien may well be under Sauron's control by now. It will take far more than a legion of your children to lay siege to it.
Did you really think I would attempt to challenge the might of Sauron with a single legion?
Yeah, he came a little prepared.
This must be what he wants. Sauron has no army of his own, so he has lured yours here instead. He wants you to attack Eärien.
Bind her. She will be useful later.
I beg you. Do not be a fool. Do not do this. Do not take his law.
I will make him choke on it.
Wow. She was actually able to see it for what it is. All right. To war we go. what was that? What if his blood is what he seals, what binds the nine? Or is he conjuring some darker magic?
Outside sounded like the siege alarm.
I assure you, I have the affairs of the city well in hand.
I shall decide that for myself.
You belong in here.
I've had quite enough of you telling me where I belong.
Oh.
And when the men of Middle-earth fall, I swear to you, every soul in the seen or unseen world will know that it was you who was the architect of their demise. We still have 9 rings to forge.
What the fuck was that? Oh. It's an illusion. He genjutsu'd his ass so he'd see what he needed to put his mind at ease. God. This poor man.
I came to Eregion not because the Valar needed you, but because I did.
I cannot forge more rings, and without Mithril,
Be at ease. I have been to Khazad-dûm. Mithril ore, refined to a powder by Narvi himself, from the purest deposit yet found in their mines, 1/9 portion per ring.
Did he steal it while he was there, or did he have a meeting with King Durin that we didn't see?
When the history of this age is written, the Silmarils, they will merit little more than a whisper. But your rings, the rings of power, they will be deemed the most precious creations in all Middle-earth.
Well, they will definitely be remembered, that's for sure.
Use it.
That is a gorgeous fucking hammer, man.
Best Feanor, best yourself. One last time.
No! Oh my god, it just makes me wonder what these people fleeing in terror just witnessed. I mean, they're probably too busy running to even notice, but them having that jovial little lighthearted conversation right there while everybody is just screaming in pure fear is just disgustingly hilarious. So right when the 9 are forged, this city will fall and nothing can be crafted that can match them ever again, or to counter them for that matter. But did I miss a scene like with Khazad-dûm about where he got that mithril? Maybe just being there was his own move. Maybe he had his own powder already, his own mithril. Or, again, you know, maybe he already had that meeting with Durin that Durin himself had orchestrated. But then that just means, like, what did he trade for it that was more than what he offered before? We're going to end before those land, aren't we? Oh, nope. Oh, there it is. Damn, what a fucking awesome episode. Holy shit. Like, everything that was going on in this one was just building, ramping up, all of it. The little bits with the stranger and Tom, very Empire Strikes Back, very Luke and Yoda, with the visions of Leia and Han and all them in danger, but his training is right there. He's got to find his staff. I also got glimpses of Bleach as well, when Ichigo is learning to unlock his Bankai with all the different swords littering the battlefield, but only one, the right one, would be the one you gotta choose. And he's gotta find his staff in this gigantic, just field of decrepit ass trees. And yeah, he's like, hey, sometimes life forks and you have to make a choice. I'm wondering which choice is the one that passes this test. Because I honestly feel like it could go either way. Because if he chooses his friends, that proves that he's after things that are different than, you know, Sauron, this dark wizard or whatever, that he believes in the people more than anything else. You know, compassion. Flip side of that, you could also argue that by choosing that, you are condemning the world and that he's failing to answer his higher calling. Which one is the weakness? Which one is the strength? Which one is the attribute we want to uphold? Because there's an argument to be made for either. And I don't know. It's the mystery of Tom as he departs. And then we got Nori here with the Stores, you know, talking about the pretty much just wrestling with the fact that they brought this, you know, conflict to their doorstep just by merely being there themselves. You know, initially she's trying to like convince them, hey, just up and leave. You don't have to be here. But unlike them, so much of them is rooted here. You know, they have so much attachment to this land. It's very different from the lifestyle that they lead. And they'll eventually find that themselves. And I do think that there is like, there are two extremes of the spectrum, you know, and I think eventually we kind of get to a place where we can be a little bit of a blend of each. You know, we got hobbits that come and go and leave or whatever, but you know, they always have that home that they can come back to. I see that as like a stepping stone to what I was just describing there, this blending of these ideals of, you know, the idea that these halflings can settle in a place and, you know, hell, maybe even get them to come and join their herd and find somewhere, resettle. Or are we going to leave them here? I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like disaster is going to befall everybody we are following. I mean, Eärien is going to be destroyed. Like, good God. Like, there's no army there. There's no defense there. I mean, Elrond is on his way there. And that vision that Galadriel's got before she passed off the ring to him for protection is going to come to fruition. Where she saw the ruins, the destruction of the city and Sauron and a bloodied Elrond at its center. That's around the corner. And all the scenes with her and Adar I found really interesting, especially considering, you know, he's there to hear her out. He's also pleading his case. He's like, hey, we just want to live. Which, to be fair, you know, as much as they are just kind of carving out a home for themselves, they are uprooting everybody else that lives there and killing people. So it's like, they're not innocent by any stretch, but his want to be left alone to live their lives, maybe you could do that somewhere else. I don't know. At the end of the day, he brings Morgoth's crown, and this was the thing that took out Sauron, or at least mortally weakened him back then. You know, I saw like some comments that I guess like the way it's depicted in there, it just looks like a bunch of guys just ganged up on him and stabbed him to death. Now we can use the context of the crown. It was the power of the crown that really did the most damage. Because I saw some people like, this is the guy we're supposed to be afraid of. And I kind of get that idea. But when you have this added context that it was really the magic of this crown that made that possible, when he was stabbed with that, it helps a little bit. It's still, like, if you're just watching that scene by itself, it does end up making him look like a little bit of a bitch. But now we're like, okay, that clearly wasn't enough because he survived even that in some way. So maybe if we combine the power of this crown and one of your rings, we could do the deed for good. But the thing is, she doesn't have her ring in hand. Elrond does. So she's going to have to get that back from him. Meanwhile, you know, she realizes this for what it is. She's like, you being here has to be part of the plan. Like, she was going along with it. And I think she was being tempted by this machination, this found ally, and the promise of taking Sauron out by uniting with Adar, as reluctantly as it was. But then she saw, once she, you know, saw the leeches and all this stuff and the army that's been built there, I think it really clicked in her head that something's not right about this. Something is off. And this has to be part of the plan because this just doesn't make sense. Why would, you know, he allow this to play the way it does with Eärien not having an army? He's luring and baiting all of this into play. And Adar is so fixated on taking Sauron out, he can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. He can't see this for what it really is. And even if he does, he's not willing to back down now that he knows where Sauron is. He could know it's a trap, and I think he'll still really willfully spring it. But I think this is a nice growth moment for Galadriel here, because like you said, you've been a slave to this like machine that has been just moving and moving and moving and moving ever since that they came into contact with Halbrand. And, you know, she's finally started to see the machinations of it, see how it's controlling her. And she actually made the conscious choice to be like, wait a second, hold on. So we're seeing like elements of Galadriel kind of get to where she would later be. I think all the stuff with King Durin, as well as just how quickly this ring has just stoked the fires of his greed. You see people and their donations and all this stuff in his throne room. They're just hoarding treasure. And as we know, eventually, you know, some of the other dwarven kings follow suit as well, collecting hoards that eventually attract even dragons. You know, while Sauron can't control them, he can't force his will upon them, it still does stir maybe some of their less desirable attributes and puts them to the forefront. You know, being in these mines and having access to all these gems, jewels, and precious paraphernalia, or the ability to create such things, you know, especially with his acknowledgement as, hey, with war coming to Middle Earth, Mithril's going to be the hot commodity. You know, it's the side with, it's always like an arms race in a way. You know, the side with more Mithril will succeed because it is the strongest shit you can have. He knows the position he's in. And like he did there when Sauron showed up, he was like, hey, I can always bargain for more than what they're asking for initially. We have everything they want and need. We have the power. And I don't know if he had that second conversation with him, because Sauron ended up with Mithril either way, despite being turned down initially. So I don't know if he stole it, if they had a meeting we didn't see, or he already had what they needed to begin with. All of that was just a song and dance to further spur on their desires to keep on doing what they're doing, to kind of catalyze their greed even further, especially when he got that little flicker of the Balrog head in the flames in that pyre. He knows what they're digging. He's like, if he can incite them to keep digging further, they'll eventually release what could be a powerful ally for him. I think that's part of the play. I don't know if it was solely the Mithril or not, or this is just like, well, if I don't have that, at least there's this, or it's all just coming together. And at this point, with what he did to Celebrimbor in this episode, like between his mind just escaping him, forgetting some of the names of the people working right beside him and have been for a long time, just shows how deeply he's been lost to this mission, to this influence. And then for him to pull this genjutsu at the end and pull the ultimate gaslighting technique on him, you know, showing him this pristine, happy little thing, even though he's like, I heard the siege alarms. I need to go out there and see what's going on. The rings can wait. And then it's just this perfect little like scenery. Everybody's happy and whatever. And, you know, he conjured this genjutsu, this illusion, to just send him right back in. And he just says all the right things to get him back in there and back to working. Oh my God. And when the illusion faded away and it's just chaos and people running in fear, that was some good shit. Meanwhile, in Numenor too, we got like Elendil being on trial, you know, and you know, unlike, you know, for being brought back into his faith, because he wasn't initially, and he's reclaimed that through this kind of relationship that he's built with Miriel. And, you know, even they tried to bring her in on it, and he just, you know, he was like, hey, I forsake my crimes. I acted out of emotion, whatever, but I will not see you as king. His daughter tried to plead his case, and he stood firm. You know, it was like, hey, if it is meant to be, it's meant to be. You can't claim to be faithful if you don't have faith, if you don't walk in that faith, if you don't live in it. Even Miriel tried to get him to turn it down and try to save himself, because she's like, regardless of what happens, this place needs people like you. If we lose someone like you, what do we do? And he's like, well, have faith. You know, it's just like he's just giving himself over to that. And then that motivated her to kind of follow suit as well. Although I don't know if that was wholly whatever. Like that, in the end of you, that could either be, she's like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my faith on the line as well. But worst case scenario, if I'm not greeted kindly by this creature, at least he's still out there and alive. I've spared his life so that Numenor at least still has that good person up there to help lead them and guide them while Pharazôn is trying to twist them. At least there's somebody out there that'll fight for the people in a way that he would never. So for her, it's a win regardless. And it just became a mega win, you know, with this thing sparing her. That thing was wicked. That was so cool. Seeing that image of this thing just kind of just almost encapsulating her with its tentacles. The design there was really great. I loved that. But then she came out and now we got people being like, oh shit, that's our queen. I didn't give him exactly what he wanted. He was hoping for an execution because he's clearly not a believer. But now what? What do you do now? And I don't know, man. I think we're going to just drive ourselves into some kind of civil war. I don't see him backing down or anything like that. But for the people that did stand by her, they're going to stand by her even stronger now. But hey, I just feel like, hey, you twisted the shit out of that eagle that was there for her. Well, what are you going to do with this? Huh? What now? Oh, fuck him, dude. And then he's seen the rise of Sauron and all these other things and Halbrand and his visions. And he's using the Palantir, the exact tool that he used and manipulated to get her cast out. But now he's using it willy-nilly. Fucking bastard, man. Oh my God. So I assume next episode will pretty much just, maybe not just be the siege of Eärien, but I think that will be the main focus. And that leaves the final episode up in the air for what that's going to be about. Maybe a continuation of it, or it'll be how the dust settles, how everybody deals with the fallout of the Battle of Eärien and all that as it comes into a close for the next stage of Sauron's plans. This was another fucking solid episode. This season has been significantly stronger than the first in a lot of ways. And these last 2-3 episodes have just been damn good. And I feel like they're just getting stronger and stronger the further we go along. And I hope they keep that momentum going into the finale and hell, into the subsequent seasons. Because I think they said they have a 5-season plan for this and they're committed to seeing it through regardless of reception and all that. So they're going to burn that money regardless of whether people are watching it. So I got to commend them for that. I do want to see this story through and their idea of what this world is and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Like, you know, like I said, I'm not shy about the problems that I had about season 1. It was very, very messy, but season 2 has been a massive step up so far in my book. But guys, what did you think? How do you feel? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the following reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you remember, this channel gives you access as well. And speaking of before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, York, Scott, Melito, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey Hale, Jake Contrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, and Sam Oyer. Thank you guys so much for continued support. But that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.